right, and we're out here at La Mesa with the Grossmont Foothillers, getting ready for the opening of the 2019 football season. And I'm with senior quarterback Jamie Odom of the Grossmont Foothillers and senior linebacker, running back this year, Chris Alba of the Foothillers.
Yeah, I think offensively especially, they were expected to do really well, put up quite a few points. Unfortunately, the injury bug hit us a little early. We were also playing a lot of top talent in the county, so that didn't help anything also. And what do you say, Jamie? It kind of started up at that heartbreak against San Marcos last year.
We don't really want to use the excuse of the injury bug because every team goes through it. It's always a fighting for all teams, but it's just coming back and this year and coming back and making a good season out of it.
Absolutely, and then on the defensive side, I mean, although we lost some of those big league games, great games. I mean, you look at some of the highlight reels, especially for you, Chris. Some great coverage defensively. I mean, some great hits throughout the season. Probably one of your better seasons.
Yeah, but we're just looking. That's in the past now. I'm just looking to have a better season this year. I'm looking to lead my team in a better way. Give my young guys some looks.
Now we'll jump into that right now to foresee what's going to go this season. I mean, can you tell us about some of the names and the young talent in which you see, and then some of the veterans that are coming back?
A veteran that's coming back for us is I feel like Caden Mata. He's going to be on. He was a special teams guy last year. Always was going with the twos for the linebackers, and now he's on my right side, my left side. He's got my back no matter what. I'm really comfortable with him. And then for someone coming up is Dante, the corner. He's coming up. He went to Monte Vista and he transferred here last year. He was down on JV. And he's coming up and he's aggressive. He's ready to hit, ready to play.
Yeah, Dante Cassiano.
Yeah,
we were speaking
Cassiano,
of, right?
Yes.
And Jamie, for you got some guys coming back too. We lost a few people to graduation and departure, but Jamie coming off, he's a third-year starter, and he's coming off a 2,100-yard season with 21 touchdowns and 384 rushing yards, Dave, but the best game I remember from Jamie is that first half of that Madison game, so I can't ignore it. I keep talking about it. Let's go to it right now. Jamie, the great win that night in the opening round of the playoffs at Madison. The lighting goes out early in the game. Comes down to a back-and-forth game after you guys get the lead, and your key target this year and at that moment, one of the biggest plays of the season, Dave, in the East County. I just say it every time. Odom to Schicker with that touchdown. Jamie, you're going to have to hook up with him a lot this year, but take me back to that moment in that game.
Yeah, that was a huge game for us. We always had people talking about the playoffs and how we don't come out of the playoffs well, but that was a great win to come off of. That final drive was amazing. Great line blocking throughout the entire game, and that just allowed me the time to give it up to Brody, and he made a play on every single ball that entire game.
Got a healthy Robert Tucker ready for that breakout season, so that's going to help solidify him. Chris will get some carries too, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about the running game, your offensive line. How's everything going to gel this year?
Oh yeah, Tucker's looking great. He's looking healthy. He's a downhill runner. He makes great cuts. He finds the holes. It's great having him out of the backfield too as a pass catcher. And then Chris over here getting some carries, and we'll see how that works out too.
Chris, you're a top-level prospect, and I think this year is your chance to prove yourself and to start to see some offers come in. USD's already talked to you a bit, and I'm sure that you're ready to really to make your mark. You've been a big part of this defense already, but really ready to make your mark personally.
So I'm just looking to make the best dynasty I can here. I want people to. I know I've changed my number a lot, but I want people to remember it like 55 and 34 on the field. It's a Grossmont Hilly.
Jamie, as far as your offensive line this season, can you mention some of the key names, the returners, and some of the young talent that's come up that's going to be up front and be the key to your success?
Yeah, my center, Andrew Sanders, he's been my center ever since freshman year. He's doing great. Returner from last year, he started almost all the games. Definitely Joshua Howery, right guard, right tackle area, and Andrew Lear from my left tackle. They're all coming back, and the experience that they got last year on the line is really helping them out this year.
So are we looking to do kind of more of a balanced offense, having the rushing, not so much just your backs, but yourself, a couple of play actions, some
Oh yeah, giving the ball to Tucker is a big thing in our offense, and I love using my legs too. So balancing out that offense between passing with me to Brody and all my other receivers, and then having Tucker and me run the ball is a great combination.
But again, that line, as long as they're picking up their blocks, that's going to be the biggest key to your success.
Oh yeah, for sure. The O-line is the biggest part. If they open up those holes for us, it makes it so much easier for us to do our job.
But you also got some pretty speedy receivers at the same time that you're going to be able to pick out during the game.
Oh yeah, all the receivers, Jay Sean Stallion, Max Kylewater, Devin Jackson, all of them are looking great and ready to have a great season.
Chris, this team, probably a little bit of chip on their shoulder after what happened last year. I mean, this is a very uncharacteristic result for Grossmont to have just 4 wins in a season. What's the theme from the coaching staff? You've been with these guys. What are they trying to impress on you guys to put that season behind us?
You know, just put it in the past, keep it, just remember and learn from it. You know, we just have to make sure that everybody's on the same page. Starting now, we started earlier. You know, all of us are ready to go. I know I tell my defense every single day, like, 2 dogs, 1 bone. Either you're gonna go hungry or you're gonna starve. Which one are you gonna be? You know, so it's something that I live by.
Dave, and it's an attractive schedule. If anything can favor these Foothillers this year, like usual, it's a good home schedule. And you take a look at the competitors; they're looking up right now in the Grossmont Hills League based on what happened last year. But you can't get it any better. You're going to have to face one of the top contending teams on the road, and that team this year is Granite Hills. But the home games this year, the big home games, are against Helix and against Steel Canyon. So at least you got that going for you, Jamie. I mean, you got to get these guys on your home field. So make a statement, win 2 of those 3 games, going to shake up the whole race.
All right, we're looking to win all those games. Our mentality is to win every game we go out against, and the next opponent is the most important opponent all the time.
Veteran coach Tom Carlo, the Grossmont Foothillers, 8th year over here, Dave, and putting last year aside. An uncharacteristic season, if you will, for the Grossmont Foothillers, and put everybody else on notice with a great schedule at home this year. But I do think that the Foothillers kind of made up for it at the end of the season with that great win at Madison. I'm going to reminisce with Coach a little bit about that one. But Dave, Jamie Odom's back. You got a top-level prospect on defense with Chris Alba, and Odom's connection to Schicker is going to be one to look for in the East County this year.
Yeah, I think it's going to make more for a even more competitive league this year. I mean, we already had the top 3 last year, but we all know it's a new season, and it definitely changed. And we've got younger talent and a lot of good veterans coming back, and of course Jamie behind center is going to lead his team to quite a few wins this season.
Yeah, you know, I think for us right now, it's always good to have guys coming back that have been in the fire. And fortunately for us last year with so many injuries, got a lot of guys experience, which is good. But you know, our guys that are leaders right now are doing their job, and you know, we've got 68 guys on the roster, so there's a lot of depth there in terms of for us overall. And you know, we couldn't be happier with our progress. We got a tough league. You know, always play a tough schedule being in Division I, but you know, this is the time of the year everybody loves. We're looking forward to football and getting out in that first game, and you know, we're excited about the season. 7 home games is something we're going to do every year because that's just something we got, and our fans and our kids like it. You know, the farthest we travel this year is El Cap, so that's nice.
Dave,
and,
I want to work for Coach Carlo. I get to spend
sign up,
70% of my time at home.
You know, it's funny. A lot of people ask me about it, and I just tell them, you know, hey, we got a little formula we do, and it works. And you know, lucky for me, the admin supports it. ASB makes a little bit more money, but you know, just to wrap up in terms of the team, I really like where Jamie's at right now as an athlete, as a quarterback, and you know, with Brody and Chris. I mean, those guys both you know, have offers from USD, and those guys have really progressed, and it's just a sign of a quality group of kids where, you know, you could have some losses last year like we had pile up, but yet still able to win a playoff game, and that really transcends the following year because people feel that ability, you know, to have ups and downs, and I like where we're at, and I like where we're going.
Yeah, that last playoff win against Madison, like you're referring to, I mean, that pretty much salvaged the season and put everybody on notice that you were still a contender.
And I think what it also did is it made what we do relevant in terms of, like, the kids realize if you work hard, no matter what obstacles you have, you're going to have success. And we were working hard, and we just didn't come to the wins we wanted to. And at the end, doing that was very exciting. And I think, you know, for any coach, you want to see progress. And not only was it a fun game to be a part of, because Madison's a great team too, but it was great to get the win and see the kids really appreciate that type of atmosphere and that type of playoff situation, and we were able to get that win. So we're carrying that on to this year, and hopefully, we'll start fast and we'll get things going here.
And not to discredit the athletes or anything, but also, I mean, you got to really look at it. I mean, Carlo's got a system here too that works at Grossmont. It's been working for years, So yes, we have the athletes, but the way we turn them over so quickly, the system is definitely proven to be a winner.
Coach, numbers.
Well, and I think any high school coach, if I were to get on a soapbox, any high school coach should have a system and stick to it and believe in it, because you got so much turnover compared to college and pros, and every year you got a whole new kid. So we're lucky enough that these kids buy in and work hard within the system. I love going into our league. The last couple of years, it's been great. It's a tough league. You know what you're going to get week in, week out. I think we've got quality coaches in the league too, so the football's at a good quality. There's not a lot of stuff going on that you don't want to go on. It's just a good, fun league to be around. So in terms of that, we're lucky to have those guys at full strength, and we're hoping to keep them there all year.
Can you give me some more names on the defense? We talk about Chris, his leadership, talent, but guys like Austin Whitmire, Cameron Sanderlin, Caleb Smith, and transfer in Dante Cassiano.
Well, I tell you what, the guy I want to talk about is a kid named Caden Mata. When Chris Alba went down last year for 3 games, he came in and played linebacker really well for us, and he's going to be looking to have even a better year this year. Caleb and Cam were starters all year. Caleb got hurt, unfortunately. Whit was our leading tackler. Austin Whitmire was our leading tackler in the secondary. Dante is a kid coming up from JV who's we really are high on. And then, of course, you got some other guys. Matt Mellinger, Joe Rojas. You got Matt Diaz. Some young guys that are really going to get an opportunity. Julian Jardine. Jake Yurdagoenia. These guys are young guys that I'm looking forward to seeing. Are their names going to be coming out of your mouth next year? So it's a good mix of young and old.
Keeps you on your toes for a guy like me, Dave, trying to keep up with the Foothillers.
And that is typical of Coach Carlo. He likes to put that young talent in there and see what he's got. When you have a roster that size, you have that ability to pick and choose and kind of see what your depth is going to be.
And we we don't have anybody going both ways. I want my coaches to coach their guys up. I want these guys to know they matter. We try to play all our backups on special teams. We try to have every one of those guys contribute in some way. And I think that really leads to a system where every year you can get those next guys coming up that have gotten that that coaching, and they fit in real nicely.
Absolutely. Yeah. Do you sell your guys on a theme coming off a season like last year, a program steep in tradition?
It's interesting. Colleges and pros do that, and they should, because but with us, with the turnover, I try to just, every year is new. Every personality is different. This team is different than last year's team. So what we try to sell them on is just the overall philosophy. Go out there and play fast. And if you do that, what this team's character is, that'll show up. What we're about will come through. But our theme year in, year out, just play fast.
And an overall experience here
there you go.
At Grossmont High School, no doubt about it. Thank you, Coach Tom Carlo of the Grossmont Foothillers, Dave Dickens. Great job. I'm Ramon Scott. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, guys.